Another example, it's a useless, quite useless vitamin cocktail, Pharmaton, from the German company Boehringer Ingelheim. I also know it's also marketed here in Spain and quite globally. It's a mixture of 10 vitamins, minerals, and ginseng. And we say it's absolute waste of money for undernourished people that don't get enough food or don't get good food. So just to show you one example, two examples how this is promoted. The photo on the top is from Brazil. It's for mainly the target group are young people. That's a kind of tent for some sporty activism. And the photo from the bottom is from a doctor's desk in Ecuador. When you enter as a patient the doctor's room, there's a big sign on the table from saying Pharmaton combate tu estrés, incrementa tu capacidad intelectual, te brinda más energía y potencia. That's absolutely waste of money if people take this expensive product instead of getting good food. And you have to pay much more for the product than you would have to invest for good food. So that's absolutely misinformation giving to the people by the industry. Now let's come to the prescription-only products. They, as the word says, you need a recipe, a prescription by a medical doctor. This is in the European regulation. It's mainly for new medicines that are quite new on the market. It's for riskful medicines where the balance of risk and the benefit and risk, benefit of dangers is very nearby. It's, for example, antibiotics or hormones or opioids, which might be very useful but also very dangerous. And the reason why you need prescription is mainly for protecting the consumers for the risks of these medicines. So, and because only doctors can prescribe them, you cannot go to the pharmacy and say, I would like to get one package of antibiotics. So the doctor needs the good information to make the right prescription. But how is reality? This is one collection of one doctor in, I think it was from some African country. I forgot the name. I think it was in Kenya, showing gifts the doctor got during 1 week by visits from representatives from the pharmaceutical industry. So that's the kind of information they like to give to their medical doctors. So, do you think the doctors are influenced by these gifts? The American Journal of Medicine made a very interesting survey asking this question to different doctors. Are you influenced by the pharmaceutical representatives, by the gifts they make to you, by the clinical studies they present to you? So, 61% said, I'm not influenced. 38% said, maybe I'm a little influenced, and only 1% said, I'm a lot influenced by this pharma representatives. So, and the next question was, do you think your colleagues are influenced by the pharma reps? Yes, 30% said, my colleagues, they are influenced. So, I think that's a very interesting thing. Everybody is, I'm not attached by and not touched by marketing, only the others. But obviously, marketing works. So, and in the context of developing countries, we also have to see that in many countries the legislation on prescription-only drugs is quite different. For example, in Thailand, you get antibiotics as over-the-counter medicines. So this brings additional dangers. And one last example of bad medicine is an irrational combination. It's from the German company Boehringer Ingelheim. Anador is the name. It's a combination, it's metamizole, that's a painkiller, combined with other ingredients. And metamizole is a quite critical substance. It might be very powerful, but has some dangers. But combined with other medicines, it can be much more dangerous. Especially this combination has the danger of life-threatening granulocytosis. In Germany, this is because of the danger that this drug can have. The registration is strictly limited to very few indications, so there are not many reasons why you should use this drug. And it's only on prescription. But in Latin America, Boehringer Ingelheim makes advertising in the public for this drug. And This is, it's in Brazil. It says, it's, how's it, pinga pinga contra a dor, also against the pain, and but not in your pocket, so it saves you money. It says this is it's a powerful but very cheap drug, and this is an example for very bad marketing, dangerous marketing. So this brings me to the last section of advertising classes we have, is the so-called direct-to-consumer advertising for prescription-only drugs. So you think if the drugs can only be sold by prescription, there should be no marketing for the consumers because they have no possibility to buy that. Only the doctors should know about that. You are right, here in Europe, but this kind of advertising is legal globally only in the US and in New Zealand. And we know that this is quite dangerous, dangerous for health, because people are motivated to take drugs they should not take, and then at the news, 8 o'clock news in the evening, you see advertising for antipsychotics or other drugs. And then the next day, the people go to the doctor and say, yesterday I saw an advertising in the television for this drug. This might be the best for what I'm having now, so this is quite dangerous.